Last night saw Melania Trump's speech, and she did basically what the wife of a president does in these sorts of speeches: try to humanize them, make them look a little bit better, make them feel a little bit better. And Trump was in the audience, so they were within 100 feet of each other, which is a rare occurrence. But Trump seemed to enjoy it. But you know what he's gonna like even better than Melania's speech? It is the morning after with Fox and Friends, like doing a show technically, like there's cameras and other people can watch it, but it was clearly going to one person. So take a look at some of their coverage of Melania's speech.
I think that one of the most famous walks ever in convention history was Bill Clinton when he walked through all those tunnels and all those hallways. I think the most famous walk now is Melania Trump's walk down the colonnade in order to give the speech from the White House. And she nailed it. She knocked it out of the park. And unlike Major League Baseball players, she did it in front of a live audience.
And there she is right there.
What a story.
Right, and the cover of the New York Post this morning, it says simply, give 'em Mel, as in Melania, First Lady, makes impassioned pitch for 4 more years. Of course, the Democrats are steamed that they're doing things at the White House, and that Mike Pompeo, who is the sitting Secretary of State, is making political statements while he's out working, and there will be an investigation, the Democrats say. So anyway.
Okay, so we're gonna turn to the Hatch Act violations and stuff in just a moment, but like, come on, they're holding up. Hey, Trump, they like her. They like your wife. She did a good job, buddy. What do you feel better this morning? Like, it was so clearly focused just to him. You'd never have in a movie about a ridiculous propaganda network, they would not have gone that far in a satire. And there they were clearly, she was great, she was best, it was historic. Oh God, Trump, your wife, she did good for you.
I understand that that maybe we didn't see them continue on with that conversation if they ever got to the content that she spoke of during her speech there on Fox and Friends, or if they just ended it with she made an epic walk down a hallway and she nailed it. You mean she didn't fall over herself? She didn't trip over her heels. She didn't break her ankle. We didn't see a fail video that's going to pop up on the internet one day of her falling from walking down a hallway to get.
She walked.
That's what she nailed it out of the park in doing is walking. What is it? What's the baseball reference? I really was just trying to make sense of it.
There's a joke.
But I don't get what the baseball players walk down a hallway. I'm just no.
Is that she hit it out of the park, but there was an audience.
Oh my God.
Dun dun. Yeah, she walked. That's true. She physically moved from one place to the other. I don't know. Maybe I have. I apologize if I have, but I've covered a lot of Bernie speeches. I don't think I ever focused on his walk. I don't think with AOC I've ever been like, you know what? Screw what she said. The walk to the podium was historic. I don't think I've ever done that. Look, but he did mention that she did it in front of a crowd, and that's where I'd like to turn now, because she did. Let's take a look at a shot of the crowd. Now, that crowd proves a few things. One is, man, they are moving on from this pandemic thing. They don't care at all about that. Now, what's interesting about that crowd, you can leave it up for a second, is they had said in advance it was gonna be 70 people. You can do a rough count for yourself. That ain't no 70 people. That's at least 100 people, if not more, which is interesting because gatherings of more than 50 are actually prohibited in Washington, D.C., but I guess they can just do whatever they want. Asher, our producer, counted 2 masks in the footage that we saw yesterday. They're not 6 feet apart. And what's really funny about this is we found out sort of in real time, according to Caitlin Collins, coronavirus tests were not required for Rose Garden attendees tonight. So basically no masks, they packed them in there. They had more than they're supposed to. They had more than they said they were going to. They didn't require coronavirus tests because again, the pandemic's gone. They all referred to it in the past tense. They're fine, they're not scared, they're not worried, except are they? Because what we just showed you about coronavirus tests not being required is only partly true. We later found out Melania's chief of staff said that guests seated in the rows near Trump and Pence were tested, but the rest weren't. How transparent, they don't care about your lives, they only care about themselves.
I wonder who, like, I was trying to see who, there's some source that talks about who was the makeup of the audience that was allowed to come in, not tested. Because that was the first thing I thought, even before we got to the point that if you sat near the important people, that you had to be tested. But if you're sitting amongst, the the commoners, or if they're even commoners, again, I don't know what the audience's makeup was. But if you're amongst the people that aren't as important as the president, the vice president, and the first lady, hey, have at it, bro. And by the way, I wasn't there. If you want to show up to your event and flout all the rules and any kind of precautions, that's up to you. I honestly, I'm willing to let people go at this point. We all know the details and the facts that are out there. They know it too. So if you don't want to follow it, that's up to you. But I get how it can also spread to other folks. So I get the reason why we're concerned about it. But these folks don't surround themselves with anyone else that's not them anyway. So when it comes to these events, it's them. And it's
Maybe.
them.
But I mean, the thing is, there was another senator who just got diagnosed with coronavirus recently, and someone in the chat mentioned they're going to get Ben Carson. Like they just saw one of the people in Trump's circle, a loyal follower, follows him around the country, goes to his events. He died as a result of it. And other people are like, no, that's just even more reason I got to prove my loyalty by going to this thing.
Or just to flat out ignore it that he died. So
yeah, flat out ignore it. Pretend that we're past it, just like they did in their speeches. Like I tweeted last night. If you woke up from like a 6-month coma, you'd watch all of these speeches. You'd have no idea that 1,100 plus people died in the last daily reporting. You'd never know it. And that was 100, 120 people, give or take, for Melania's speech. How many people do you think are going to be at Trump's speech? You think he's going to allow a small crowd? He is going to be desperate for as big a crowd as possible. It's going to be 200, it could be 500 people, I don't know, but they're going to pack it in there. And some people are definitely going to get coronavirus as a result of it.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.